Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I've received an incredible reaction to my breaking news announcement a couple of days ago about certain Republican states. Montana was the first. Other states are starting to do the same thing. Certain states doing away with the $300 a week unemployment booster. In other words, telling the federal government, hey, we simply don't want the money, even if you've passed a law. Now, this is creating a lot of confusion. This is creating a lot of anger. This is creating a lot of anguish, understandably so. In this video, I'll talk about certain news stories emerging about why unemployment benefits could potentially be hurting small businesses. Before I jump into the news, I want you to know it is my personal belief that help should go to those who need it the most. So I do believe that there are some of us, specifically individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality, who have lost our jobs permanently. There are those who have a high school diploma or lower who have been permanently impacted as a result of this pandemic. The nature of this economic recovery is that some individuals have been left behind. But an interesting byproduct of the economic recovery is that certain small businesses are actually finding it difficult to hire individuals because, and by the way, this threshold is right in the $32,000 a year range. Individuals earning salaries of less than $32,000 a year are now earning as much, if not more money at home collecting unemployment benefits, including the $300 a week federal booster that was mandated and extended by the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. So these jobs under $32,000 a year are such that employers are finding it hard to find individuals to come back to these jobs, and that is why small businesses are getting hurt. And in fact, this was represented in the latest unemployment numbers and in the latest jobs report that came out last Friday, which was quite shocking. It was way lower than what people had expected, simply because there is an expectation that individuals are hesitant to come back to work. And this is not coming from me. Let's listen to Congressman Byron Donalds, who's a Republican from Florida, and he talked about the impact of these high unemployment benefits from the American Rescue Plan as far as the Republicans are concerned. This is what the congressman, who's a Republican from Florida, said. People are not going back to work. This is hurting small businesses that are trying to reopen. Now, I want you to watch this segment closely, and I want you to also watch this video all the way through to the end, because we'll hear from different business owners across the country. And I want you, my valuable viewer and subscriber, to let me know in the comment section below whether you agree or disagree, because I'll be scanning the comments closely. Let's roll the tape and hear from the Republican congressman from Florida, Byron Donalds, as he talks about the problems that small businesses are facing across the country because individuals, and this threshold again is $32,000 a year, because individuals making less than $32,000 a year are doing better on unemployment benefits than they were prior to the pandemic. Let's roll the tape and check out what the congressman from Florida had to say. Let's watch.
Here now to react is a Florida congressman, Byron Donalds. Byron, thank you so much for being here this morning. Really appreciate it. So, Congressman, there seems to be just a sanity overfloweth in Florida, yourself included. I mean, this idea that, hey, maybe we should pull back some unemployment benefits once the jobs are available for people to work. What do you think of this approach?
We need to do that, and we should do it right now. Let me give you a little story. I was trying to go to a McDonald's drive-through. It's 12:30 in the morning. The 24-hour McDonald's on the way to my house was closed. I was like, this is interesting. It's a 24-hour McDonald's. They're always open. I drive closer to my house. There's another 24-hour McDonald's. I pull up to the drive-through speaker. It took 5 minutes for the only person in the store to get there. He told me he's the only one working, and he had to make breakfast for the morning, so it was going to take him 30 minutes to fill my order. This is what's happening across the country. Restaurants, retail shops who have really been struggling through the pandemic to try to get back on their feet. People are not going to work. They're simply not reporting. It's happening all across the country. At the federal level, in this last coronavirus bill, we should not have extended benefits to the degree that we did. We need to go back and revisit it because it's hurting small businesses who are trying to get back on their feet.
Congressman, obviously states that, stop this extension of unemployment benefits, and the leaders in those states are going to face some heat, right? People are going to point fingers at them and say, oh, you don't care about people in need. What should their reaction to that be?
The one thing that's going to help the people who are in need is getting back to work. getting back to the things that we were doing in our normal life. At the rate that people are being vaccinated, the country's actually in a very good place, and those rates continue to go up. Even though they're slowing, people are still getting vaccinated every single day. It is far safer in America today than it was 4 months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and everybody knows it. We have to start to get back to work. We can't rely on the government to put money into everybody's pocket. It cannot continue. This will not work for our country. We're already starting to see inflation starting to tick up because there's so much money floating around without the necessary demands that need to be filled with it. And so we have a serious problem if we don't get it together right now. And I think the president needs to weigh in on this, and he needs to actually do the right thing, which is work with Congress to begin to pull these dollars back.
Now let's take a look at another news report from a different part of the country that highlights that small businesses are finding it so difficult to hire workers that they are now starting to offer incentives, including cash incentives, to bring people back to work. Folks, this is a very unusual part of the economic recovery where the economy is reopening, states are starting to reopen, businesses are starting to reopen. I was actually at the post office the other day and I had my mask on, and there were many other people with the mask on, and there was somebody at the post office who had his mask at his mouth level. He wasn't covering his nose, and then the post office worker said, "Cover your nose," and he didn't cover his nose entirely, and the moment he finished his business, he turned around and whipped it right off. I can understand that people are getting fed up and people are getting sick, but the fact is that this entire economic recovery is taking its toll on people, and for some people it's creating an incentive, as far as the Republicans are concerned, to stay at home and collect unemployment benefits. This is what they're saying. Don't blame the messenger. I want to know whether you agree or disagree. Again, my position is that those who need help the most should get it, and this is easier said than done. Let's roll the tape and check out the challenges that businesses are facing in different parts of the country. Let's watch.
It could also mean higher prices, limited hours, and fewer services. A similar story playing out nationwide.
It's disappointing for us because we're not going to be able to give them the same service level we have in the past.
And don't expect to roll in at 3 a.m. to your local 7-Eleven. Some store owners say they can't find the staff to stay open 24 hours. In fact, more than 40% of small business owners say they can't fill open positions. To get those needed workers, businesses are offering higher wages, signing bonuses, free housing, even extra cash for getting vaccinated.
In fact, summer destination travel is bound to be impacted because a lot of the workers that are required to help with summer destination travel, including individuals required to clean rooms, are in short supply because these individuals are not returning back to work. Let's take a look at this segment where the summer destination travel with the summer around the corner is likely to get impacted because of the nationwide labor shortage. Again, let me know whether you agree or disagree. Let's roll the tape and check out this segment.
Right now, the nationwide labor shortage is impacting summer destinations. Businesses across the country are gearing up, trying to fill those summer jobs before the season officially kicks into high gear, but it's proving harder than ever before. Curtis Bashaw runs 5 small hotels along the Jersey Shore. He says he is still looking for extra help this summer.
Has it ever been this hard to hire people?
It's never been this hard to hire. And it's been such a surprise to us because you would think coming out of this pandemic would be Yahoo, let's go. And it's like the workforce evaporated.
And if you thought this was just about travel and hotels and summer vacations, then think again. Restaurants are also getting impacted. Let's take a look at the impact on restaurants, as restaurants are also crushed and restaurants struggle to hire during this pandemic, during the economic recovery post-pandemic because of unemployment benefits. Again, if you're in the restaurant industry, let me know whether you agree or disagree with this segment where the restaurant industry is having challenges bringing people back to work. Let's roll the tape and check out some new information from the restaurant industry as the economic recovery makes its way throughout the country.
The Republican National Committee arguing, quote, this is the biggest miss on a jobs report in more than 2 decades, and Biden's failed policies are to blame. Some business owners say they can't find workers because they're now making more money through enhanced unemployment checks.
We're putting ads, on paper and on Facebook and online. It's just, the government funding, it's hard for people to want to come back to work.
And speaking of travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality. A New Jersey casino manager said that he was finding it hard to bring individuals back to work because individuals were simply doing better on unemployment benefits. Folks, more and more news is emerging about small businesses. Well, I wouldn't call a casino necessarily a small business, but more and more news is emerging about both small businesses and large businesses finding it difficult to bring back a certain type of worker. This is the important part. A certain type of worker, because those workers are collecting more on unemployment benefits. Let me know your thoughts about this rather interesting and highly unusual trend in our country. Let's roll the tape and check out this casino manager from New Jersey talking about his problems trying to hire someone and bring people back to work. Let's watch.
It's very difficult to get people to come back to work.
Tom Pullman manages the Golden Nugget Casino in Atlantic City.
We're seeing people just choosing not to come back to work because they're making more money staying at home.
With added unemployment benefits because of the pandemic, millions of Americans are receiving about $600 a week, or about $15 an hour. That's what a lot of typical summer jobs pay. The Golden Nugget wants to hire 150 people.
If you can't fill half of those positions, what will that mean?
We need people to clean rooms. We need people to serve guests. But unfortunately, it's going to impact the guest experience.
For travelers heading to summer hotspots, it could also mean higher prices, limited hours, and fewer services. A similar story playing out nationwide. In fact, more than 40% of small business owners say they can't fill open positions.
So, if you learned something new, please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. Let me know whether you agree or disagree about the fact that unemployment benefits are starting to now hurt small businesses. What do you think of the comments from the Republican congressman from Florida, Byron Donalds, and what do you think of all the other business owners you saw in this episode of Ignition Time? Please do me a favor, please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. A lot of effort goes into the creation of these videos, and if you take a minute of your time to just click that like button, it would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.